One thing about insurance is, you see the highs and lows of everything.
Yeah.
I can see in the morning someone bringing in that newborn baby for me to meet their baby, and before the end of the day, I could be dealing with a fatality. It's just the highs and lows of this business, and its ups and downs. And I don't have clients. I have friends.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Houston Inside Out. I am James J, and I am excited today to have Steve Smith. He is the owner of State Farm Agency right here in Katy, Texas. How are you today, Steve? What's going on?
I'm doing good, James. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing well, man. So we're going to jump right into this because I don't want to keep people waiting. There's so much to talk about insurance-wise. But I want to kind of get people a little bit about your background, how you got into insurance, and then kind of why State Farm, because there's so many insurance companies out here. State Farm, I think is probably, if not the number one, they're up there, and they've got great commercials too, by the way.
Absolutely.
So yeah, give us a little background, kind of how you got into the insurance thing, how long you've been in the business, and a little bit about, kind of your State Farm background.
Well, I appreciate it, James. I have been in insurance for over 20 years. I've been straight out of college. I have, fell in love with insurance. I ended up minoring in insurance. And so I started my agency career in San Antonio, Texas, and in 2000 with State Farm. And then I moved to Houston in 2004. So I've been here in the Houston, Katy area for over 15 years.
So when you were in college, now, was that your plan all along to get into, to have your own agency, or what were your plans in college, or did you have a plan really? Because I know I didn't.
At 20 years of age, I knew I wanted to be an insurance agency owner with State Farm.
Oh wow! Okay.
This company my sophomore year in college, and I just liked the service that this company provided for its clients. And so it's been a good match. Our values and beliefs line up. Their ability to take care of the client and want to do the right thing for the customer has really resonated with me over my career these last 20 years.
Wow. So 20 years. So you've seen a lot of everything. The insurance is one of those things that a lot of people don't know a lot about. I mean, we know we all have to have it. Yeah. We all need to have it. And so I know one of the big topics for us here in Houston, of course, over the last couple of years has been related to flood insurance. Absolutely. So what can you tell us as far as like flood insurance, not only just for Houston? I mean, it's probably more relevant for us because it's just happened not even 2 years ago with Harvey, but just in general, because a lot of stuff that people can learn from you as it relates to flood insurance, things people can do, why they should have it. I think people that live in Houston now know what we all need to have it.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's one of the products that is often misunderstood. Over my 20-year career, I've worked really 5 major storms, and 2017 Hurricane Harvey was probably the most catastrophic storm that I've worked. I had over 300 claims. I really saw people financially devastated. Yeah. Take second liens on their homes. They have lost everything. And it really, really made me focus on really calling every one of my clients and talking to them about why they need flood insurance, because your homeowners or your renter's policy does not cover flood insurance whatsoever. Not one penny is paid from your homeowner's policy. And so with that being said, and the ever-changing flood maps, the maps are changing so much now that pretty much everything in Houston is going to flood. I think we have an overdevelopmental problem in Houston. I think there's a lot of building in areas that we shouldn't build, and I think this is going to be an ongoing problem. And for the cost of flood insurance, it's just a no-brainer to not have flood insurance. You own a $250,000, $300,000, $400,000 house, and not to spend $450 a year to protect that investment is not wise, in my opinion. No. And so I really believe that everybody should have flood insurance. And the rule of thumb used to be buy flood insurance between June and November. Well, in Houston, it doesn't matter. It's flooding before June. Hurricane season is just a parameter, but
Right.
you know, if it rains 2 or 3 hours in Houston, we could have a flood event.
Now, tell me why June through what was that time frame for prior to all the stuff that's happened in the last
That was
18 months?
designated hurricane season, where
Okay.
June through November was designated hurricane season, and that
Right.
was the time that the water was warmer. You had the named storms coming through the Gulfs, and that's typically when we would see those type of wind events. But now we're seeing the weather is so unpredictable now that you can flood. We've had 3 major floods in the last 3 years, and two of those floods happened in May in 2016, and I think one earlier in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't. June through November is just that's not the norm anymore.
Now, when you say June through November, is it even possible for a person to just get insurance during that time? Is that something that I didn't even know that was possible, just to get insurance for that specific amount of time?
Well, that's typically when the people will buy flood insurance.
Okay.
But it's a policy that I think you should keep annually. It's not something that you just get for those 2 or 3 months, because this is, like I said, this is a problem, especially in the Gulf Coast. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be seeing more and more of these events on the Gulf Coast here going forward. And so we believe that as weather continues to become unpredictable and continue to change, I think that flood insurance should be designated a part of your insurance budget to set aside, some monies to make sure that you have that protection in the event that you need it.
Yeah. Yes. I went to a meeting with the Harris County, basically the Harris County board of the kind of the people that handle the floods. Mm-hmm. And so this is probably a few months ago when I attended this, but basically he said they're making a lot of changes, and it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's when it's going to happen again. And so a lot of the older developments were the ones that really got hit hard, especially in Houston. A lot of these, they just weren't set up for that type of water. Now we obviously Harvey was just off the charts. Nobody knew it was going to happen like that. Mm-hmm. But basically his message was, it's going to happen again. So prepare yourself, get the insurance. The fact that it's only a few $100s a year it's ridiculous not to have it. It makes no sense, like you said.
It really does.
But yeah, I should tell people it's going to happen again. I know for me, I had a lot of clients on the real estate side that I had just sold homes to, right before that happened. And they're still struggling with it to this day. I talk to people that are still dealing with it. And so now, all the cameras are gone, but people are still struggling with this. And it's kind of crazy. I know you get to see a lot of this still.
And I still have claims that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And that was almost 2 years ago. And so it's one of those things that it's out of sight, out of mind, because the media is not talking about it.
That's right.
It's an old story now, but Houston really, really devastated. And I think that the main thing that disaster preparedness, you really need to prepare as if not if it happens, but when it happens.
No doubt. No doubt, especially for us here. So in addition to like flood insurance, now the season for hurricanes, whether it be in Houston or Florida or wherever, mm-hmm. Is it about the same as far as time frame, or is it going to differ?
Yeah, typically it's about the same time frame. That's when the water gets warmer. That's when that Gulf starts to change, and that's when we normally see those catastrophic events. Yeah. But we're seeing now it's the seasons are moving, weather is changing, weather is unpredictable. So I think that for $450 a year, if you're not in the flood zone, mm-hmm. I just think that you should make the annual check, and the checks are made out to the National Flood Insurance Program. Some carriers do carry their own private insurance. State Farm here, we outsource it through the National Flood Insurance Program. Okay. You would have a local agent that still would represent you in the event that you do have a claim. So you're not by yourself in the event of a claim process. You still have representation, but the policies are written through the National Flood Insurance Program.
Okay. So you guys are kind of like the underwriter, kind of almost like a middleman, more or less.
The middleman, make sure that you still have representation.
Got it. So for people that might be thinking they're still maybe not sure they should get insurance, especially people that are not in flood zones, You know, I think a lot of people got enlightened on, they learned a lot. I know I did when Harvey hit, but, and not just in Houston, just period. There's a lot of people that are not in a flood zone and they feel like maybe they don't need to do it.
Yeah, 60% of Houston wasn't in the flood zone, and it flooded.
Yeah.
And so, and here's the deal: insurance planning is really managing, mitigating your risk. And when we say your home is one of your largest investments, do we really want to take the risk of being unprotected for less than $500 a year? Okay, most of my, your homeowner's insurance contracts are anywhere from $1,800 to $4,000 a year. Why not put an extra $450 aside to make sure that you're fully, because the homeowner policy does not pay anything. So if you have a claim, your insurance company is not going to pay anything towards your flood claim. And so you're really by yourself.
Yeah.
You're on your own on this because you really don't have any assistance from your insurance company. So it's very, very important that you get the flood insurance.
Yeah. So this goes back to one of those things that I mentioned in the beginning, because a lot of people, they get the insurance, they have no clue what it until something happens.
Yes.
Then you find out, oh, I'm screwed. And it's not the insurance company's fault. So my question to you is, how do people get, without necessarily, because I don't think anybody's going to sit down and read an entire policy.
Okay.
How do people maybe educate themselves on their policies, whether it be car insurance, any insurance for that matter? Because I think, again, a lot of people don't look at it, they don't read it, they don't really know until it's time to go make a claim, and then they realize, oh, okay, I'm not covered for this, I didn't know. Because I hear it all the time. I didn't know.
What I recommend is really finding an insurance agency or insurance professional that you can trust.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is what make guys like myself valuable is that my clients can come in, sit down and talk with me. I'm their financial professional.
Yeah.
We sit down and we try to have annual insurance checkups once a year to kind of make sure that you're not missing anything. I think the main thing that I try to review is where your gaps are, where you're vulnerable, where the risk and potential for exposure that you could have. The homeowner's policy is a very complex policy. All homeowners policies in the state of Texas are not the same. Yeah. So insurance is becoming a commodity. People just want the cheapest price.
Yes.
But in Texas, you need great coverage. You need great value. And you want to make sure that you have a great contract to protect you, not if you have a claim, but when you have a claim.
Yeah.
Flood insurance is a cash value policy. It's a depreciated policy. You're not going to get everything back, so you're already limited. Right. And the standard policy, preferred policy, the max that flood policy will pay is $250,000 for your dwelling and only $100,000 worth of contents.
Okay.
So you're already limited if you have a home of value more than $250,000.
Right.
So it's very important that you have that coverage as surplus, because again, your homeowner's policy does not cover that. As far as car insurance, you can get car insurance everywhere, but you really want to make sure that when I talk about car insurance, I talk about assets. What am I protecting? If you're sued today, what do I need to protect? Okay. And so, there is not a commodity. It's not just to say you the cheapest prices, to make sure that if you have a claim today, if you have an accident where there's fatalities or if there's disability or somebody's really hurt pretty bad, are your assets protected? That's what car insurance is. That's what homeowners insurance is. In the event that you're hurt or you hurt someone, are you protected? I strongly recommend that every professional have an umbrella policy.
Okay, now explain. Yeah, go ahead and explain that, because I don't think people may not know what that is and how that works.
Professional liability policy is basically says that if you exhaust your liability limits on your homeowner's policy and your auto on your auto policy and your homeowner's policy, this umbrella policy sits as an extra layer of protection. It normally starts at $1 million to make sure that, do you want the insurance company to pay $1 million, or do you want to have to come off your personal assets, and those assets or liens are placed on those, or you're sued for having a bad accident or causing an injury. So and it's inexpensive. Those policies are very inexpensive to put in your portfolio. So my job as a risk manager is just to make sure that in the event that something happens, you're protected. you're protected. And we try to find that money that you could be losing unknowingly and not necessarily, and just try to reallocate your insurance dollar, not necessarily ask you to spend more, but to make sure that you're spending those dollars wisely and economically.
Right. Yeah. No, and I think the value, of having somebody locally, because I mean, everything is online now. You can get everything, and you're right. A lot of people they look for the cheapest, and then until they have an issue or problem, they don't. Again, it's not an if, it's a when. It's gonna happen, but people don't really think about down the road. Nobody wants to think that we're ever gonna get into an accident or we're gonna get sick. I mean, it'd be nice to just not to know that, hey, I'm gonna be healthy to age whatever, or I'm not going to have a car accident. It just doesn't work that way. And so I think trying to help people understand and get their mind wrapped around why the insurance is, I mean, really to me, it's a peace of mind thing. And what do you pay? What do you pay for peace of mind?
Exactly.
I don't think you put a price on it.
Exactly.
So but having somebody locally versus you just going online.
The thing about it is, I tell all my clients or clients that are referred to me, bring in your policies. Leave your checkbook at home.
Right.
Let's sit down and talk. Let me educate you. I look at myself as an insurance professor.
Yep.
I try to make sure that you understand what you have, and then if you don't have what you need, I'll let you know so you can go to your professional and say, hey, why I don't have this? What is this about? The guy that I'm talking to now is strongly recommending this. Why hadn't you recommended that to me? So it's not about me selling you something just to get your business. I want to make sure that in the event that something happens to you, I can pay your claim. You're paying for claim service. So it's not if you have a claim, it's when you have a claim. And so if I can't pay your claim, then we're not going to have a great relationship. So my job is to make sure that before we do business, you're good. So I don't like doing a lot of business over the telephone and sell me the cheapest policy. No, I would rather you go somewhere else, because I'm trying to provide a value to you.
And which nowadays, everybody just wants the quick fix. They don't take
until they have a Hurricane Harvey, until they have a storm, until their house is on fire. And so those are some of the things that we look at, and we try to prevent those things from happening, because you're paying for claim service. That's really, when you look at insurance, if I have a claim today, do I want the cheapest price, or I want the best quality product out there? Yeah,
that's a great perspective to put it. You're paying for the service, the claim service.
You're paying for the claims experience. And one of the great things you asked me earlier is, why did I choose State Farm? State Farm is the #1 property casualty company in the United States. We insure 1 out of 3 cars and 1 out of 2 homes, 2 out of every 5 homes you see in any neighborhood. And we're ranked #1 in claims service. So we do a great job in keeping our promise. And so one of the things that I like about State Farm is making sure that if James comes to me and he has a problem, I can solve it. Okay. And that's what we do. We try to make sure that if you have any areas of your life where you're vulnerable, we fix those areas and we put you back together again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think State Farm it got that reputation. There's a lot of insurance companies, but when it comes down to the claim, the service, and all that stuff, and State Farm's been in business for how long now? I mean,
since 1922.
Okay, so they're not going anywhere, because I know there's a lot of insurance companies that come and go.
20 years I've been with this company. It's been a great company to me and my family, but it's also been a great client, a great opportunity for me to serve. To serve my clients and give back and make myself available to them. Make sure my clients can reach me after hours. They have my number. They know how to reach me, because unfortunately claims don't happen between 8 and 5.
Right.
They happen at 2 in the morning. And so if you're having a bad situation, I want to be there with you when you're going through your worst time. I want you to know that you're not going through this by yourself. So we try to provide that service as well, to make sure that in the event that something happens to you late at night, I want my clients to be able to reach me and say, hey, we have 24-hour customer service. So State Farm will call me at home, James. So if you had a claim and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, your house is on fire, they know how to get in touch with me when you don't. Right. They're going to say, hey, go check on James, because this is a bad claim. We don't want him by himself. So that's the kind of service that I love, because I put myself in the seat of my clients. If I was not an insurance professional, would I want somebody going through this process with me to hold my hand and to make sure that I'm not by myself doing the claims process? So it's a very good company.
Yeah.
Well, I was a customer of State Farm before I became a State Farm agent.
Okay.
So I have both perspectives.
So when you started off 20 years ago, you started off, were you just as like an agent? Is that what you started off doing, or what position?
I immediately went into agency. I
Okay.
never worked. I came from outside of the company. I was working for another insurance company, a smaller insurance company, doing some
Okay.
consulting. And then I had an opportunity to open up my agency and start in 2000.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as an entrepreneur, basically you're a business owner. You
Yeah.
get State Farm, you get to use State Farm's brand, which is great.
Yeah.
So any recommendations for people that might be looking to start, maybe not just insurance, but just a business period? I think the beauty obviously of having technically a franchise,
Yes.
more or less is what State Farm would be, but there's certain parameters that you have to have in order to even be able to open a State Farm, correct?
Yes. You have to educate yourself. You have to be selected by State Farm.
Yep.
And then you have to go to a school where you have to get all your licenses. We have to carry 7 or 8 licenses to make sure that we're knowledgeable.
Right.
I mean, most clients don't know we're a bank. We have a bank. We offer mortgages. We're in investment planning. I'm a registered rep. I sell life insurance, disability insurance, homeowners insurance, any type of financial product that you think that's out there, we do it. And so it's a great company. It's a great opportunity as far as starting your business. Step out there. It's a great opportunity. It's probably the hardest thing you do, but the most rewarding thing that you do.
Yeah.
And so you're a small business owner, so you know the impacts and the highs and lows of running the business. But it's awesome to be able to lead and help people and do the things that you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, no question about it. And like I said, I know the value of having somebody locally that can sit down with you.
Absolutely.
20 years of experience, you guys. So you've seen a lot of everything, but there's probably stuff that happens on a weekly or if not a daily basis where you're like, I haven't seen that one before. That's the beauty of it.
One thing about insurance is, you see the highs and lows of everything.
Yeah.
I can see in the morning someone bringing in that newborn baby for me to meet their baby. And before the end of the day, I could be dealing with a fatality. It's just the highs and lows of this business, and it's ups and downs. And I don't have clients. I have friends. I have my clients become my friends, and like any friend, you want to take care of them. So it gives you the opportunity, insight to try to do good things for them, and you want to do a good job for your friends. And so that's how I run my practice, is that I have, a great deal of friends that I'm serving.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's an awesome mentality to have. And I try to do the same thing in my own business. So, so we're going to come on. So I'm going to have you, we're going to talk life insurance. And we're going to do it today because we can have a whole nother conversation, but we're going to come back on and talk life insurance because I think that is another one of those topics people don't really want to address.
One of the most misunderstood products out there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, I don't know what people think, like we're all going to go at some point. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
That's another, not if, it's going to happen. So
the only claim you're guaranteed to have.
That's good. So yeah, I'm going to have you come on again, and we're going to just talk life insurance so we can help some people maybe with some misconceptions about life insurance, and just reiterate why people need to have it. So
that's probably my favorite product in protecting families, and I would love to talk to you about that because I do a lot of education planning and seminars on life insurance and investment planning, and because people just don't understand it. They think they think the only way that they can use life insurance is if they die, and that's the biggest misconception that there is about life insurance. So I would love to come back and talk to you about that.
Yeah, we're going to do that. And so how can people get a hold of you? Website, I know you're in Katy. We'll post all your information, but what's the best way to people to reach out to you?
You can reach me on my website, www.insurancesteve.com.
Okay.
And my office number is 281-347-8383.
Okay.
Also, my mobile number is 832-493-1010. So those are the ways that you can reach me. My email address is steve@insurancesteve.com. Again, that's steve@insurancesteve.com.
Okay.
So I try to make myself available in any contact, whether it's my cell phone, my website, my email address, and so if I'm on Google,
Yep.
the yellow pages. So pretty much all the contact points you can find me. But if you have somebody that needs my services, needs a question right away, have them to call me or text me. I'm available. I try to respond back right away, and just try to be of service. Try to help as many clients as I can.
Yeah, no, and I'll get all that information posted so people can reach out to you. One other question for you. So, what in 2019, is there anything new that you guys have coming up for this year? As we're almost about a month and a half into the year now. So, is there anything special that you guys have coming up, promotion wise, event wise, anything that maybe can help people, whether it be in Houston or anywhere else for that matter?
Not really. We're just trying
Okay.
to service. Our focus this year is really making sure that clients or have the right auto liability limits, and
Okay.
we're trying to really specialize in auto insurance this year. So we love referrals. So if you have any clients that want a free no obligation quote on their auto insurance, their homeowners insurance, we want to just look at everything. We want to sit down and be intentional about reviewing contracts this year, because it's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of companies moving in and out of Texas, and it's about price, it's about money, but then they don't have any money to pay claims. So we really want to just provide Katy and Houston with great service and try to be there for our clients. So if you know anybody that need car insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, mutual funds, banking, anything you can think of, we provide it. So we're here to assist. Awesome.
So I want everybody to reach out to Steve. I know Steve, we've met at the gym. I mean, a lot of business people at the gym. He's a great guy, fun to be around, great insurance person to have representing and working with, for sure. So again, I'm gonna make sure everything gets posted so people can reach out to you. And like I said, we're gonna have you on again. We'll talk some other insurance things.
Would love to
on another show. But I appreciate your time, and thank you very much. And like I said, anything you've got coming up, you want to promote it, you let me know and I'll get it out for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time today.
All right, Steve. Well, thank you guys for watching Houston Inside Out. If you're listening, make sure you go subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, all those things. Reach out to us with any questions, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Houston Inside Out.